Okay, Apple's keynote happened, and man, oh man, I've talked a lot this year about how much we're stepping into the future and how quickly it's happening. But with the new Vision Pro, I find this really interesting. Take a listen.
Vision Pro is a new kind of computer that augments reality by seamlessly blending the real world with the digital world. It's the first Apple product you look through and not at. Vision Pro feels familiar, yet it's entirely new. You can see, hear, and interact with digital content just like it's in your physical space. And you control Vision Pro using the most natural and intuitive tools, your eyes, hands, and voice. With Vision Pro, you're no longer limited by a display. Your surroundings become an infinite canvas. Use your apps anywhere and make them any size you want. Capture photos and videos and relive your most important memories in an entirely new way. Watch your movies, shows, and sports, and immerse yourself in games on a giant screen surrounded by spatial audio. And connect with people as if you're sharing the same space. These are just some of the ways that Vision Pro blends digital content into the space around us.
Okay, very, very cool. We'll talk about it. Don't know too much about any of the technology, but want to talk about it and the implications it's going to have in our society. But first of all, Apple Vision Pro cost $3,500. That's US dollars. Here in Australia, probably like $5,000 for this thing. And while I think this is awesome, there's a few concerns I have with it. While I think it's awesome and it looks sick, who can afford that? Like, who is this actually for? Because who out there, like, I'm working in my late 20s, like, I make money, but I wouldn't buy this. I do not have enough money to spend $3,500 or $5,000 Australian in one shot on one of these things, when it's also just like in its earliest stages, right? Who is this for? This is just going to be rich people, rich billionaires, millionaires buying a couple of these, you know, one for their partner, one for their kids. Everyone's going to have, all the rich people are going to have one, and us poor people are just going to be slumming it on our iPhones, while all the rich people are just like looking around going, ooh, woo, 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 waving their hands in the air, doing all their apps that we can't see. It's crazy. I don't understand who could possibly afford this. Like, regular people can't afford this. The same way, like, regular people can afford an iPhone. You can spend $1,000 on an iPhone and like use that every day. This kind of thing, like, and I think I've spoken on this podcast before. I've always been incorrectly skeptical about Apple products. Like, again, not to show my age, but I remember when the App Store launched and there were ads on TV being like, the App Store, get all your apps. And I remember thinking, there is no way anyone is ever going to say apps. Apps is the lamest word of all time. No one is going to say apps. Of course, we all say apps now. I remember when AirPods came out and I was like, these look so stupid. No one is ever going to wear them. Of course, I love my AirPods. I remember when they got rid of headphone jacks on phone. I was like, who is going to buy an iPhone? No one will ever want to use wireless headphones. You'd lose them again. AirPods taking over. Like, I'm wrong about everything Apple. But I do want to say, with Apple Vision Pro, I do wonder if people can see themselves wearing them in their day-to-day life. Like, can you see yourself wearing this, like, essentially robot goggles across your day-to-day life? Feels very interesting to see if it will take off in the mainstream. Like, imagine everyone wearing these at work all the time, and think how much easier it would be to, like, be distracted in a meeting or something at work if you're wearing one. Just open up a tab, a game in the corner of your eye, play a bit of solitaire while you're in this meeting, you know, just solitaire with your eyes. Open a YouTube video, have it running while you're in a meeting, all because you've got these goggles on. But what it allows us to do, it is very cool. The fact that it's basically a replacement for a TV, replacement for your phone, like, you can basically put a TV up in augmented reality, watch HD movies, be on a plane, change the plane into like a virtual space that you can pretend you're in, watch a movie, the spatial audio going straight into your ears. what does it mean for us? Like, we are going very, very fast here. Very cool. I'm sure within like, I wouldn't get the first one, but if they can make it cheaper and sort of make it, once it's sort of developed a fair bit more, I think it would be something that I would want to get and start experimenting with, because I think it would be cool, but it's just like, I don't think as a headset, like as a big goggle headset, it works. I think it has to be more like glasses or something smaller and less noticeable, because imagine if in 10 years everyone's walking around with one of these AR headsets on. It'll just be crazy. It'll be really weird. But it is interesting to see Apple always taking those really innovative steps in the right direction to advance technology and society. Like, this is the next era of computing, of communication, and it's just amazing. Like, this is the mainstreamification of AI and VR. Like, they even showed, like, you can go, like, I think they even showed that you can go to, like, VR sports and concerts and stuff. It will be amazing. I find it really fascinating if they can get it right. And I don't think it would be right at first. Like, I would never pick one up, but also just the price point. Like, will it be a thing where like average people don't have them, just rich people have them? At first, it definitely will. And yeah, fashion wise, I don't know, like, do you go out for dinner and everyone's wearing them? Like, is there etiquette around that? Because at the moment, I guess, like, you go out to dinner, you might have your phone in your pocket, you'll just take it out, have a bit of a scroll. You might, I don't know, you might go on a date, you might take your phone out, have a bit of a scroll. You might be at work in a meeting, have a bit of a scroll. Is it just something we're going to be wearing all the time? Also, like, the way it's basically recording all your memories, that was an episode of Black Mirror. Like, you can just kind of it's just basically recording everything. Obviously, the implications for porn is really interesting as well. Like, that will boom. There will be so much porn. Like, it's very interesting to see how this goes. Would love to hear people's thoughts on this. Like, would you buy one?